Tevez sta solo, Tevez al limite dell'area, fa fuori tutti, Tevez, si apre la porta, Tevez, gol, da dietro, Pirlo dentro,
Ciao Juventini, welcome back to the All Juve Cast channel where it is match day. All right, we've got Fiorentina and Juve ready to square off and not far from now. Okay, we're within an hour from kickoff, so we changed the time for this match day live. I'm going to do a watch along. We got Lucci, we got Joe Cappuccino here. We're all fired up in the green room before we came out here, and that's just because I'm too late to make changes. I saw the starting lineup for Juve Fiorentina. I can't make changes on my Fantacalcio, so I'm pissed off, everybody. Okay, pissed. Lucci, I think, made his changes yesterday, so he's okay. And
except for Dusan, he screwed me. Thanks, Max.
Vlahovic not getting the start. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Hey, we got an interesting call here. Milik is gonna score. I made a call. I'll get into it in this one. And Joe Cappuccino says he's gonna take me up on that. We've got some business to get out of the way from the start too, though. First, we're gonna say hi to all the usual suspects here. We got Jeremiah here. Ciao. Good morning. Tom Snipes. Ciao, guys. Excited for a big game today. Tom Snipes, you should be excited to take on the trivia challenge to try and win a kit. You are one of the names. Abbas KT the other, and Fayez Alfayez is another. I don't see Fayez in here, so maybe he didn't catch the memo that we're on a different time slot today. We will see. But Tom Snipes, you got a little pressure on you today with this because Abbas KT reached out. He could not make it, but I made him a deal. And I said, look, if the other two contestants get the questions correct, so you're going to be playing for Abbas as well, Tom Snipes. Okay, so no pressure, but yeah, whether he gets a kid or not is all on you. So don't fuck it up. Now, let's take a look here. Everyone, everyone's firing up here. Omer coming in. Everyone's mad Vlahovic isn't starting. I'm honestly excited to see what Milik has to offer. We'll get into all this and these squads. Tom Snipes is ready. You know what? Fayez Alfayez is constantly in the comments section in our videos and supporting everything. He loves them. It's part of his daily routine. Not quite sure he said he was going to be here, but Tom, if you're ready, you can play on behalf of both of them. So I'll wait for your response here in the live chat, and everybody in the live chat's probably going to help you with this trivia. Okay, there's not many questions. Okay, but I'm waiting for your yes or no if you're ready to take it on. There we go. There you go. We got a win for him.
For him.
Let's do it. Let's get this out of the way, and let's get 3 kits out of the way, okay? First question, Tom Snipes. What year did the All Juve cast start? What year was the first year? Oh, Siri's scaring the shit out of me on the iPad here for the watch along. Let's go. Let's see.
I'll cover your hat just in case, bud.
Well, it's going to be a tough read.
Well, maybe he's got.
And honestly, I mean, it's kind of covered up in the background there. Let's see. Tom Snipes here. Searching. I can tell you're searching. Should know this. Should know these. The trivias are not going to be Juve-based. They're going to be podcast-based. Let's go.
Come on, Tommy Snipes.
Come on, Tommy Snipes. Well, and we want these kits. We want these kits going out there. Are we allowed to help them? Absolutely, Jeremiah.
100%.
100%. Let's go. What year was the All Juve cast established? Let's go. I should get to the next question too, which is pretty easy as well.
I'm gonna check the Discord.
Oh wow. Gave me a date. Like September 8th, 2018. 2018 is the year we're looking for. Tommy, you're there.
You know the time too, Tommy?
Look at this. Omer coming in, Jeremiah, 2018. Well done. Next one. Give me one of the top 5 countries that we get our main support from, okay? So just name the top 5 countries. I revealed this in a video a little while ago, so
come on, Tom.
Go.
Make the
One
Canadians
of the top
proud.
5 countries.
Do us Canadians good, bud.
But the date was spectacular there. Oh, look at that. We just go straight up with Canada. Canada's in there.
Easy.
Canada, US, Sweden, Australia, and United Arab Emirates. We could have gone. There was a couple that were tied in there as well. Italy's not far off the top 5, believe it or not. There you go. Yes, these 3 all would have done. All would have done. Fantastic. So we got 2. Give me one of the most popular phrases that you hear on the All Juve cast.
That's a good one. That's a good question.
And there's a few to choose from.
There is. There's definitely a few.
And I think we can all probably know which one's going to come up.
I know which one I thought of right off the bat.
Is it one from a Needless Wonder?
It is. It's definitely that one for sure.
That one was well played last year. I think he's been holding back this year with it. All Juve all the time. That's one for sure. For sure. Forza Juve, absolutely. This is a softy one. All Juve all the time. Boom. You know what? Everybody was getting nervous about this going into it, and if they were going to win the kits or whatnot. Tom Snipes, that's it, man. That's all we needed. Easy. Congrats. Tom Snipes gets a kit. You won Abbas a kit and Fayez Alfayez. So they owe you because they didn't make it in here. So maybe you could score an extra one. Okay. So you can pick a home or away or a third for me. And then those guys could get you one of the other ones. All right. So Tom Snipes can reach out to us on Twitter, DMs or whatnot. We'll be in touch. We were on the DMs at Twitter. And you guys can choose the jerseys. I'll reach out to Abbas and Alfayez. Congratulations. There's the first 3 kits. And like I said, first 3 kits of this season. There's plenty more to give out. Okay, so there you go. Congratulations. I know you guys were waiting patiently for the giveaway and stuff. There you go. These guys are going to be able to choose whatever jersey they want out of the season and which player they want. So there you go. Okay, now let's get to the business at hand, boys. Okay, so it's always nice to kick off the day, get ready for a match, and get some jerseys out there. I like that. It's good vibes. Now, in terms of this match here, we had a little bit of news as the deadline passed and Mercato finished. A little bit of a surprise move with Artur and Zakaria moving out there. Yeah. Some of the headlines are going to read like we've got 70-something million coming in if these sales go through or whatnot. But keep in mind, Artur's option would basically break even for Juventus. Okay, so that would just be a break even, which is fine. That's still a win. All right, next season. The Zakaria one has been followed up with a lot of, I shouldn't say full on negativity, but a lot of confusion by Juventini because they're saying that basically, what is the long-term plan? If we just brought this guy in, he was sought after by some bigger teams too when we pulled him in January. Now, all of a sudden, we're getting rid of him, immediately and trying to push him away. It's for me real quick on the Zakaria thing is whether it's Rabiot not being able to leave or not, does it really necessarily change the whole long-term plan? For me, I don't feel that way. And the reason I don't feel that way is because we had 3 guys in my mind that were all kind of the same in terms of Rabiot, McKennie, and Zakaria. They were occupying one sector. And whether they have slightly differing abilities, which they very much do, when you look at the rest of the team, they have set positions set in stone. So you're always going to have these 3 guys battling for certain spots that are not necessarily gonna break through or be that be all end all. So I'm not so sure that any of them were untouchable by any means. Rabiot's contract's coming to an end. McKennie could have been sold, in my opinion, as well as Zakaria. So it's like, take your pick. But ultimately, those were the guys on the totem pole that were expendable. In my personal opinion, does it change anything long term? I don't think so, because you still have Rovella we put out on loan. Fagioli remains in the team and Miretti remains in the team, which is a huge win. Because earlier on in the Mercato, we were talking about only keeping one of these young guys around. Now we got 2 out of the 3. Man, I'm okay with it. And I still don't see it hurting us long term. What do you guys think? Let's start with Lucci.
Yeah, I liked Zach. I thought he was his stature was a little different compared to McKennie, and I liked the way he got up and down the field. However, with if you turn that around and get some profit out of it, it's good business for the team, and we need money. Like we know we're cash strapped, so it is what it is. I don't think he's going to be back. I don't think. Well, obviously Rabiot most likely won't be back. So then next year we'll see with Rovella, Ranocchia is also out on loan, and if they decide to bring in someone else. But we need the back end still needs a lot of work, so we could see some cash going there. That's for sure. So, wish him luck. He was a professional. It was only 6 months, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah, Omer, thank you very much for the donation. Everybody else wondering how you could support the channel, of course, super chats enabled, super thanks enabled, or check out our store, the merch now, Striped Hearts, directly linked with our YouTube. Okay, Joe's rocking the Turin Bull shirt. Check it out. A lot of new designs coming out very, very soon as well. Now, in terms of Zach, Alex P's got Zakaria was good business. Not good enough for what we are going for.
Which is what?
There you go, Jeremiah. Man, I wanted Zach to be a star for us. Really reminds me of Vieira kind of player. Max never really gave him a chance. He's a better player than McKennie all day, every day. Missed opportunity. Joe Cappuccino.
I agree.
What do you think?
I can see the Vieira comparison. I really can. He's got long limbs. He's tall.
Mm-hmm.
He's muscular. He's that kind of midfielder. I had a lot of expectations of Zach, especially when he came in the first game he scored.
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, it was just kind of, he just didn't perform. He got injured, so his time at Juventus was kind of blah, to be totally honest. I like the guy. I have nothing against him. I'm kind of in the same camp as Lucci. He's one of the names that we went from having not enough midfielders at one point to having a surplus of midfielders. I think so. He was definitely one of the guys that we could let go and make a few bucks on. So. That's just how this sport runs sometimes.
Absolutely. And when you look at the young guys and what they bring and stuff, I mean, Fagioli's still a bit of a question mark there. Like, he's still got to make an impact. Miretti's having an impact. Miretti's in the discussion for potentially playing when other guys are fit and stuff, and that's massive.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't happen, I think things are different in terms of like Zakaria as well and whatnot, but you could definitely start to feel who needs to play where. And it was almost instantly once he started taking over that attacking mid role and whatnot, it started shifting everything. And then all of a sudden you start knowing who your locks are going to be. Yep. And that just pushes those guys a little bit further back. McKennie's one of them. Zakaria is another one. And Rabiot, like, no matter what anybody thinks about Rabiot, you can't ignore that drop off in the balance when Zakaria entered 2 matches instantly from Rabiot. The drop off was massive, and that can't happen. And I think that ultimately also played a part. But let's remember that Zakaria was shopped all this Mercato. They tried to pull him into the Atletico Madrid deal to bring Morata back. Tried to use him with Zaniolo and whatnot. So like they were shopping him all Mercato. So it's an unfortunate thing because it's a guy that I think we barely scratched the surface, like both of you mentioned, on what he can do and what he can bring. But in this midfield and the way we operate and our balance and whatnot, it just wasn't coming through. So one way or another, I think he's going to actually do well with Chelsea. And ultimately, it'll just mean if they make it finalized, good capital for Juve. And then we move. But the midfield all of a sudden got flooded, which is good for us because we've needed it. In terms of the Mercato overall, Joe Cappuccino, what would you rate this Mercato for Juventus?
I think I tweeted about it yesterday. I gave it a 7 out of 10. I think that we, like I said in the tweet, we bolstered some weak spots. There were some real glaring issues that we had to fill. We have a lot of youth in the squad again, which is great. I love seeing that. But I think the two biggest drawbacks for this Mercato for me was no real quality fullback. I mean, yeah, we got Cambiaso, but then we
he's not ready. He's not
ready for one thing, and we just loaned him out again. And two, we never really got any center back depth returning in. So we're pretty much, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to say it on camera because I don't want to jinx it. So it's a 7 out of 10 for me.
7 out of 10 for you, Lucci.
I was going to say much higher, but now Joe's got me concerned. I shouldn't say it. I think like 8.5 is fair. We got rid of Artur, which we needed. We got hopefully some cash coming in. Again, we didn't fix the fullback position, but we kind of knew that because the prices are just not reasonable and there wasn't many options out there. With that, we brought in some forward depth, although it's maybe not exactly what we hoped for. We got better. I think we got better. The only thing I probably would have did differently was loaned out Fagioli and kept Rovella, but potato, no big deal.
Yeah. I think for me, I'm the same as Luch. I'm about an 8.5. I think a fullback would have kind of taken it the rest of the way, ultimately finding a loan for Artur, which was difficult. Zakaria out of nowhere that has the potential to be a really, really strong capital play for Juve. Being able to keep 2 out of the 3 youngsters and start to make that shift forward. Gatti getting minutes could be massive too. The Bremer, in order to steal that one from Inter, holy Christ, when nobody saw it coming, strong Mercato. For sure. The Kostic one, bringing in Kostic. I know that fans right now are a little antsy and a little lack of patience for Kostic and whatnot, but let's just give it some time and see what happens there. It's hard to just say that they didn't do a fantastic job. They cut the wages all while doing this. So I think if we directly say, are we a better squad on paper than last year? I would have to say yes, to be honest. I think a much stronger squad. The balance along the midfield is a lot easier to achieve. If we can figure out this gameplay like we did against Roma, we didn't have our legs about us in the last one against Spezia, but when we do have our legs against, like we did against Roma, if we can play in that manner consistently and then bring the luxury players in, your Pogba, once Chiesa returns, could be scary stuff. So it's moving in the right direction, and Cherubini and Arrivabene did a massive job there. It's already being reported that they're on a young central defender, looking at potentially in January, but next summer, look for the back line to be reshaped, right, with some fullbacks and obviously a center back. So it's going to be very, very interesting. But the planning, the moves, everything, it's starting to make sense. Milik's going to get the start today. We're going to talk about that, but that could be a decent play overall too. So the Depay thing, obviously it came out that management had an agreement. Everything was there. Just Barcelona was not releasing him. So management took a lot of heat when all of a sudden it was a big 180 and it was like, we're bringing in Milik right away, but it's low risk. There's nothing there. So we can just brush the dust off and say goodbye at the end of the season if we want to, but he's already got a goal in barely 11 minutes of play. He's doing well so far. He's going to get the start today, and I made a call. We'll make a call a little bit later that Joe's going to take me up on, but yeah, we'll see what comes. Today it's Fiorentina and Juventus. Fiorentina, man, 1-2-1, okay, couple draws at 0-0, a win in the opener against Cremonese, and then coming off a loss to Udinese 1-0. They're not scoring. They haven't scored a goal in their past 3 games. I think that back line is awful, to be honest. Juve coming off a 2-0 victory against Spezia. We talked about it. Fans wanted a little bit more in that one, but ultimately at the back, Juve looks solid, and you got a Fiorentina side that's not seemingly able to find goals unless they send the house, which you can do against Cremonese, and I'll just say it, they stink. So there you go. Tribute to the kneeless wonder. But yeah, Cremonese does. So it is what it is, right? I think for this one, it's going to be tricky because it's at the Artemio Franchi and whatnot. We know that those are tricky for us and whatnot, but I got faith in our back line, despite what we should be seeing out of the starters. We're going to get into that real quick. You know the drill. A little trivia of this fixture. 188 times these two teams have met. How many wins for Juve in 188 matches against Fiorentina? Let's start throwing some of these guesses out here. Joe, how many wins for Juve, 188 matches?
115.
Holy smokes. Okay, Lucci.
I was going to go 94.
Ooh, Lucci takes you on this one, Joe, because it's 89. In the
Wow.
last 10 games between the two sides, all competitions, how many wins for Juve? Last 10, all comps.
5.
5 from Lucci. Joe.
That's a good number, Lucci.
I know we've lost a couple.
I'll go above. I'll just go 6. Price is right.
It's 6. It's
Nice.
6.
Okay.
He snaked you on that one, Lucci.
Fair enough.
Jeez. Give me the last player to transfer between these two sides.
Vlahovic.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Oh, it's Chiesa.
Oh, it's
Wrong.
technically? Really? Okay.
Didn't they
Somebody
just-
else?
Oh, Mandragora.
Boom,
There we
Lucci.
Good call.
Pulling it through.
Good
and
call.
leaving Joe Cappuccino stranded on Loser Island. And you're done. You're done. You lost, Joe. Damn it. Lucci
All right,
takes it.
I'll see you guys
Okay.
later.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, nice quick little trivia. Boys, the odds. So we're trying to speed things up because in about 20 minutes, I got to start getting ready for this match, for the watch along, everybody. Hopefully everybody's going to be joining me there for that. If you got Fubo TV, I highly recommend that you check me out as the watch along announcer because Fubo TV has the worst commentators I've ever seen in my life. So the odds in this one, if Juve win, it pays 2.4. A draw pays 3 times your amount. Fiorentina winning 3 times your amount. Very, very close, but Juve is the slight favorite to win this one. Okay, so we talked a bit about these two teams coming into it. Fiorentina obviously hasn't scored in about 3 matches. Juve has only allowed 1 goal in their opening 4 matches. They rendered Roma to almost nothing. Okay, so the defensive side looks good. In terms of what we're going to see from Juventus today, Perin, Quadrado as a fullback, Bremer and Danilo center backs, Sandro on the other side, McKennie, Paredes, Locatelli in the middle. So Paredes in there immediately. Up top, despite not being 100%, Di Maria, and then Milic and Kostic. That is the lineup. So let's get into this one. I talked about Fiorentina, their struggles and everything. Talked about Juve, where they're at. Obviously, for Juve, the next step at the back, we're solid. We have been, anyways, and we've slowed our opponents down and everything. It's going to be up to this midfield because the key to us so far has been that midfield and getting that balance. So right now, you've got McKennie and you got Locatelli on the sides of Paredes. What we've been seeing over the past couple of games is that 3-man midfield shift into a 4-2-3-1 with possession. Miretti obviously being that attacking force. If you had to do it with this midfield, like the question mark is, are we still going to shift into a 4-2-3-1? Because do you send McKennie up there? My most natural position for Locatelli is a 2-man pivot for me personally. Do you leave things like that? Or, you know, is McKennie enough to be that guy? Do you just play this as a straight 4-3-3 and have both your Metsalas being those guys? That might be the better play if it's going to be Locatelli and McKennie. Because if you want Locatelli to be that guy, which I believe, you know, the question mark is, can he do it? Is he that guy? But is McKennie a 2-man pivot guy? I don't see it. So this is going to be interesting for me, is how that plays out in the middle of the park. Bonucci, everybody, is available, will not start this one because he's being saved for PSG. I don't know if that's a good call. I have my doubts about that. based on how he was playing in preseason before taking the knock, before having to sit out all these games, I would almost be the opposite. I would want him getting minutes before going against PSG. The other thing is, if we haven't only allowed one goal and been solid defensively, I don't know if I change anything going into the PSG match. But with all this going on, this lineup heading into Fiorentina, do you guys have the same question marks about the midfield as I do? We're going to start this one off with Joe.
To be honest, yeah, I do. I'm wondering if McKennie is going to be, the guy going forward, and having Locatelli and Paredes being that 2-man pivot. I'm really just wondering what's going to be going on there. But yeah, I have a lot of the same questions that you do, Al. Either way, Paredes getting thrown right into the lineup. I guess we'll see what he's going to be cooking for this team. My concerns are that I hope Cuadrado makes good decisions as a right back, and maybe we'll see more from Kostic. I don't know. And Di Maria, I think that you mentioned it at the top of the show, not 100% fit. I'm wondering how long he will be on the field for, and what kind of impact he's going to have for this
Just
game.
Enough to score, and I couldn't get him in my Fantacalcio lineup. That's how he's going to do.
Probably.
Lucci.
Yeah, the Di Maria thing concerns me a little, because we know he's not that young anymore. If he re-injures himself, it could be another month out. Like, who knows? But see, I'm not a big McKennie supporter, so you guys know how I feel about this. I would have went with one of the youngsters to play this, to be the more attacking force in the midfield. Leaves Locatelli with Paredes and whatever. And I don't know. I just hope we can score some goals. That Fiorentina back line is not good, so we got to attack. We got to take our chances.
It is not good.
Yeah,
I said it at the start. I'm going to say it again. It is not good. They are weak. And I get it that they're coming off some draws, and even in their loss, they only allow one. But if you watch those and you see how much they actually surrender, okay, we're talking about open headers on crosses. We're talking about like big saves from the keeper. Like, they give up opportunities. There's going to be opportunities for Juventus there. Yeah. Milik, I'm like, we can't play Vlahovic every single game. Okay. The amount of work he's required to do so far, while we truly find balance from defense to offense and stuff, has been high. He's at a high work rate. Give him the break going into Champions League. Get him fresh for PSG, because he's not the guy that needs the reps. Like, he's going to be okay. I'm not worried. My concern is not Vlahovic against PSG. But if we're talking about saving Bonucci and then going with Bonucci to PSG, I get concerned with that, especially how he started off the season in preseason, looking well off the pace and making some errors, especially in ball movement and progression and against the press. So that one concerns me. Vlahovic doesn't concern me. Milik today, brace. Milik will get a brace today. And I called that in the green room. And Joe Cappuccino immediately said, I'm going to take you on that one. Milik's going to get a brace, boys. I see it. I see it happening. He's looked good so far. He's only had a couple cameos. He's very much involved. He moves the ball very, very well. Yeah. He's got the dribbling with him. It's a different changeup to Vlahovic, right? Yes, and I think that's why it's good when he does enter the pitch, because the defenders are not used to that. It's completely different when he steps on the pitch as opposed to when Vlahovic is. So it's kind of nice in terms of what we got is not 100% like for like. Yeah. Milik can play that as a straight up, but he can also be used in a 2-man system. He can be used even in a 3-man system, like, arguably, right? So there's some variety to his game. I think it's going to be all good. So this one today, if we have to get into our predictions right out of the gate here, we changed it up just, so Joe remembers, and Lucci's been a part of it. Now you got to pick 3. Final score has to be one of them, but then you can pick any other 2 categories that you wish to make up your prediction challenge. Okay, so yeah, let's fire away, and let's kick it off with Joe.
Okay. So final score, like you said, needs to be one of them. I'll go 2-0 to Juve. I'm gonna say Milik will get one, and I'm gonna say Locatelli's gonna get the other. And you need two other categories. First yellow card will be on Fiorentina. It'll be Milenkovic. And
good call.
and I'm trying to think of another category. Throw some out for me.
Shots on target, shot attempts.
Okay.
What else we got? Halftime score, was that one?
Halftime score will be 1-0 Juve, and that'll be Milik.
Interesting.
Thanks, Luch.
You're welcome. I'm here to help.
Luch.
I'm gonna go 2-0. I'm gonna go goal scorers Di Maria and Milik. With 11 shot attempts and 4 on target.
All right. CJ just joining in. Dushan hurt. No, Dushan rested. Rabiot knock. He won't start. But yeah, other than that, Dushan is not hurt. Mm-hmm. Rest day. Milik in. Milik with the brace. Juve wins this one 3. They're going to score 3 at the Artemio Franchi. Okay. Oof. Write that one down. 3. My thing is, do we concede one? So Fiorentina plays, like, for them to generate, it's 6 up. And in and around the area, like, they send bodies forward. We're going to punish them on the counter. Like, Di Maria's in the lineup, even if he's not 100%, we should be able to take advantage of that. And if you give us space with that back line, I'm sorry, but, like, Kostic will probably be held back a little more defensively, but Di Maria should be the one pressing, and with Milik. Mm-hmm. Milik's on a brace today. I'm going 3-1. I'll say maybe they find one against us. 3-1. 3-1 Juve. Milik with 2, so I'll go goal scorers. Milik with 2, Di Maria with the other. Okay. Milik brace, Di Maria. And yeah, I mentioned it was my 5th wedding anniversary yesterday, so I did have some beverages when we went out for a nice dinner. So maybe that's contributing to my feelings today about all these goals and Milik bagging a brace. Maybe
the sauce.
Maybe I'm still feeling the sauce, whatever. But Milik, Di Maria. For the other, I'm gonna go with Juve finishing with around 13 attempts, and maybe we'll go about 7 on target. Okay. Ooh. So 13 and 7. And last, I will probably choose. Do I go with the possession? Do I go offsides? Corners? Because this could be a tight one based on your guys' predictions and whatnot.
The choice is yours.
This one could be the important one. Maybe I'll just go offsides with like 3. No, first card. First card's going to be Fiorentina, 34th minute. There you go.
Okay, cool.
Well, you know it's not going to end 3-0 since Anthony said that. Mr. Mushkin it's not going to happen.
Mr. Mush.
Adjust your predictions according. Yeah.
2 offsides, 10 shots for. We're a little far there. We're gonna rock today. I hope so. It's time to get the next step. Again, there are question marks we're gonna have answered today, especially with that midfield. McKennie, as long as he's not playing on the outside, which he shouldn't with this setup, that should bode well for him. Yes. Okay, so if a lot of these fans, and I was saying the same thing when we were talking about Rabiot's been a hot topic for a while now because he has been good over the past couple games. Lou and I were having some fun yesterday. So he had a typo. Lou had a typo in our group chat one time, and he meant to say Locatelli. He happened to type Rabiot when he was talking about our midfielders. He goes, Moretti's been our best midfielder. And Luca, but he didn't say Luca. He put and Rabiot or next to Rabiot. And I definitely took a screenshot of that and saved it and then put it out, and we were having some fun. But Rabiot's a hot topic. And I just said, look, I feel like a lot of the frustrations, at least for me anyways, with Rabiot have come with him being an outside player, though, which isn't necessarily his fault.
Mhm.
But over the past couple games, just judging when he's been the holdback midfielder next to Locatelli in that two-man system, when Moretti pushes forward, he's done his job and he's done it at a high level. So high energy, winning the ball back and getting it to the guys that need it. Kostic, Vlahovic, like just moving the ball on quickly. For that, and if that's all he did, fantastic. Is it worth $7.5 million? No, absolutely not. But he has been good. So then the question came up, and I know he'll probably never accept it, and he won't, and there will be some Premier League team that'll pay. But if he were to accept half his wage, if he played the way he has over the past few matches consistently for a whole season, I'd probably do it at half his salary.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I was getting at. But Lou just can't do it because it's Rabiot.
The agenda before everything.
He'll never accept half that wage. There will be a team in the Premier League that'll overpay and do whatever. But over these
his mother won't allow it.
Whether people want to talk about it or not, Rabiot's done well. McKennie now and Locatelli on the side of Paredes is going to be an interesting combination to see. If McKennie's going to be that push ahead midfielder, I have my doubts. About him being that guy. So it's going to be interesting. Straight box to box though, him and Locatelli on each side. I have my doubts about Locatelli being that kind of guy too, though. So I don't know. Do you guys think that's a key answer for Juve? Locatelli being that pushing forward, attacking mid? A lot of people are saying that's his natural spot.
I disagree.
And that he will be the key to unlocking the midfielder, and this Paredes move will unlock us.
No, I don't think so. Like just as an example for Italy, he wasn't that player either because he had Jorginho, he had Verratti there to go to. He was just the guy in the middle. He was there to help clean up, help with Jorginho, and get involved when he could. If you're asking him to be a real attacking threat or attacking midfielder, I don't think that's his game. He's more of a box to box. Will help out, chip in the odd goal. That's why I don't really understand the McKennie and look at, like, we'll see how they do together as a pairing now that he's a little more advanced. But I would have gone with one of the youngsters since they like to be they're more attacking minded, a little more creativity than McKennie has. But hopefully it goes well.
I would have to say, like, if you're gonna look at technical ability for the creation side of things and the legs and everything, Moretti or Fagioli are the guys until Pogba comes back, and then Pogba can be that freedom creation guy higher up, and then I see those guys switching up that role. Pogba, Moretti, Fagioli. In terms of the rest, Locatelli shifting into a two-man pivot with Paredes. That's solid. If you got Paredes and Locatelli for your two-man pivots, right? The McKennie thing, that's a question mark. Is he going to break through? Rabiot offers a balance because he could be the energy guy and he can drop back in a two-man pivot. Locatelli changes things up from Paredes. I see those two guys interchanging that role since we've seen Rovella leave, right? So there's a lot of questions. It's going to be up to Max and the players now, but we all agree the team overall on paper much stronger than it was, right? So
absolutely,
management has done a great job. Now it's up to Max and the players to get this thing going. Fiorentina.
No more excuses. Exactly.
No more excuses. The Champions League game that we have coming up as well. We're obviously hot topic and whatnot. PSG, how do you boys feel going into the first group stage game against PSG?
It's going to be tough regardless. I mean, I think that's an easy thing to say. It's going to be tricky.
I agree. The good thing is that the first game's at home, and if we can squeak out a minimum a draw, we're looking like we should be okay to get out to the next round. I think we can't afford to lose both games to PSG. That would definitely hurt.
Mhm.
Yeah. I always expect Juve, and this is one thing that I want to see out of this team, whatnot. When you face those opponents, like you saw how we played against Roma, night and day from any of the matches so far in the league. So I'm expecting that energy. I'm expecting that drive like 100% against PSG. The nice thing is that we have been playing very, very solid at the back and very organized, right? We have not faced front like that, though. Not
Nope.
even close. And the threat is real with those guys up front there. So it's going to be very, very interesting. The middle of the pitch is where I always say games are won and lost. And we still have a lot of questions that are left to be answered about the middle of the pitch. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. I don't think it's going to be like, I'm not as worried as most. Like that vibe right now is out there that a lot of Juventina are weary. I mean, it's natural to get nervous for Champions League, period. When you face a team like that and we're kind of in flux, it's a normal feeling. But I think it's going to be tighter than more people expect, to be honest.
If Bonucci's starting that game, it could go very bad very quickly.
It could go very poorly. It could go very poorly.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern, to be honest.
Him versus Mbappe or Neymar. Oh man,
Mbappe,
he's gonna get torched.
Yeah, that's that pace you pretty much don't have an answer for. So essentially, you're not going to play a high line against PSG. You can't, right? But we've been doing that and slowing opponents down too, right? So it's like we've been kind of just shelled and the guys back off and they just allow them to try and create and build ahead of you. And we've been slowing everybody down. Take away the middle, force them to the outsides. That's not their game either. PSG's likes to play through the middle, right? Yep. And they like their one-touch football and all that. If we flood the middle, essentially we have to do the same thing we did against Roma. Flood that middle, give them nothing there and push them to the outsides, and then let Bremer and company deal with the crosses in and stuff like that. If we can get them to not be comfortable playing, that's the only way Juve is going to get success in that match against PSG. Force them to the outsides, force them where they don't want to be. If you give them the middle and you allow them to play that, you're in for you're in for a long night. So it'll be interesting to see how we do it. We went over the lineup and we're ready to go. I'm going to leave everybody. Okay. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Lucci. We're going to get ready. We're 5 minutes away from kickoff. I'm going to head over to the watch along now. Everybody that's in here, get over there. Like this video before you take off. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Let's get a victory. All right. So we're closing in on 6 a.m. here, my time. If we get some goals, that's right. These girls are going to wake up. My daughter's wife, I'm going to start screaming, okay, because I'm jacked up. Like I said, still probably the sauce from yesterday, but we'll see. Thanks, everybody in the live chat. You guys were amazing. Congratulations to Tom Snipes, to Fayez Alfayez, and Abbas, who get the 3 jerseys of their choice, okay? As promised, if we sign Bremer, we were going to give the kid away. Not only did we give 1 away, we're giving away 3. Boom. All right. And there's more to come.
More to come.
Season. All right. Ciao tutti. Forza Juve, fino alla fine. Match time, okay? Let's get over to the watch along. Ciao tutti.